Hi everyone, it's April with Hair 101, and I've had a few people ask me this question, so I thought, why not make a video? How do you juggle it all? How do you do it? How do you be a mom to 4 kids, a wife, keep the house clean, do all your hair clients, make these videos, do photography, weddings, edit, all of this stuff? How do you do it all? They're like, it's not possible. So I have some good news for you and I have some not so good news for you. The good news is that you can do a lot of things. The bad news is that you can't do everything. I've had to learn this over the years. It's okay to not have everything perfect. One of my favorite quotes is, when you have your priorities in order, the things that are left undone are tolerable. Like you're more tolerant of the things that are left undone. So I truly believe that that is the key, is prioritizing, because you can't do it all of the time. You can't have a perfectly spotless house, work 6-hour day, cook and clean for your family, watch all of your kids all day long, and do a wedding. And I mean, you just can't do it all. I can't do it all. Maybe you can. Maybe there's someone out there that has like 1,000,000 cups of coffee a day and the energy of a crazy person, but that's not me. I can't do it all. Sometimes things get left undone, but I feel like when I prioritize it and when I put things in order the way here's kind of how I prioritize things. And when they're in this order is when I have the most success with my family and my career and everything. And it's more of like an emotional thing. I think a lot of the time when you feel run down and like a failure, it's because like it's more emotional and mental than it is like in real life, because you're really not a pathetic failure. I promise you. There's things that maybe you fail at, but that doesn't mean that you're a failure. So sometimes I get to that point too where I'm just like, oh, nothing's going right. My house is a mess. I am too tired to do this. I didn't cook for anyone. My kids have been at the babysitter all day, and why am I doing this? So I've been there, I get it. But if you can prioritize things in this order, you put God first, your family right next to him, and then your business in that order. So I'm putting first of all, I put God first. Like, I don't do anything that I feel he wouldn't approve of. I don't do something that I feel like I would be ashamed of, and you know what I mean? So that is a big purpose, like a big part of it overall in your life. The second, my family. Like, my family is more important to me than making money. I have to make money to feed, to support the family. Like, my husband and I, we have to work. Otherwise, we would starve. So there is that need and the demand of like, we have to make the money. But what are you going to sacrifice at it? Like, I'm not going to sacrifice the little years with my children for money straight up. Like, I chose not to do that. So that's one of the big reasons why I chose to have a home salon, was because I was like, I want to be able to be there for my kids when they wake up for nap. I want to be able to make them lunch. I want to be able to watch them take their first steps. And I understand that that's not an option for everyone, but I made it a priority. Like, I put it to the point where it was like, that was more important to me than being successful. So, but I did need to do both. So I made it so I could do a salon at home. That being said, it's not the easiest road. It definitely has its challenges. There's times where I was doing hair with my foot on the bouncer, bouncing the little baby and doing the hair, and or my clients holding the baby like when they were really little. There was times where it was just like, I'm sorry, this is not ideal. But you know what? Like, I still made it happen sometimes. You just do the best you can with what you got. Yeah, so family is, I prioritize my family first. And not always. Sometimes I slip off my prioritized list and neglect something with the family that I shouldn't have. And I always go back to turn around and think, you know what? Next time I'm not going to do that. Next time I'm going to choose my family over this. So I found that that's how I can be mentally, physically, spiritually happy. What does that mean sometimes? Sometimes I ask for help, you guys. A lot of the time in my other, like before we moved here, I remember many a times asking a neighbor, can Ambry just come over and play for a couple hours? I have this cut and color and Ender's sleeping, but she's just not going to be watched. And I know that she'll probably end up getting into something. Can she come over there and play? And I'll make it up to you. I'll take your little girl for a couple hours tomorrow. Like work out, find a friend, someone you can rely on and trust, and be a support system for each other. That is going to help you a ton. And so that's one of my big advice things to make how I can keep on keeping on and keep doing things. Another thing that is huge that I think that it's so difficult for me, this is something I struggle at so bad. You have to say no sometimes. You have to just tell someone, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I don't, like, there'll be people that call you and they're like, oh, I'm getting married tomorrow or on this day, on this like Saturday, and I have to get my hair done or something. And you're just thinking, okay, that's my kid's birthday and I had this birthday party planned, but you know, okay, I'll just do it. And then you do it and then it ruins everything else that you had already had planned. Like sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes you have to go with your gut feeling, because sometimes like I'll really feel like, you know what, I really need to do this. I need to sacrifice this for this. And sometimes I do that, but a lot of the time I had to learn to say no. I had to just tell myself, you know what, sometimes you have to say no. If you're overwhelmed and you've already done your max amount of clients that you can handle that week, and you've you set your hours, and this is another thing, make sure you set some hours for yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed with hair and the clients are just calling and you're overbooked, and you're getting to the point where you feel like you're never seeing your kids or you don't have any time to do anything else except for hair, you have to just say, you know what, I'm going to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday all day, and those are it. Like, stick to your guns. And when someone calls you and it's your day off and they're like, oh, can you just hurry and throw some foils in my hair? You just have to be able to say no sometimes. And that is hard for me. That's like the hardest thing I have. I just can't say no. I'm so nice sometimes. Oh, that sounded conceited because I'm so nice, but it's true. I have a hard time saying no to people because I know that they are counting on me to be able to help them or do their hair, and it's important to them, and I just feel like I'm letting them down if I don't say yes all the time. But guess what? You're letting yourself down and your family down, and that's a bigger deal than letting down someone else. And a lot of the time they'll be like, this is the only day I can do it. It's the only time. And then as soon as you're like, you know what, I'm not working that day, I'm sorry, I can't do it, the answer is no, all of a sudden their schedule opens up somewhere else. Maybe they take the morning off of work. Like, it's not always the only day, and it's just something you need to do sometimes. So learn how to say no when you need to. So yeah, my house is not always clean. If you go to April's Life and subscribe to my channel, you'll see that. It's not always clean. I try to keep it clean, and I try to help the kids do their chores, make sure they stay on it, but it's not always perfect. And I've accepted that as, you know what, it's okay. I have 4 kids. 4 kids mess up a house in like 2 seconds. So it's okay if it's not always perfect. And they're gonna break things, and they're gonna do things while I'm doing hair sometimes that are just totally ridiculous. But you know what, it's okay. People are more important than things, and I've learned that, and that's helped me a lot to be able to juggle everything too. Always remember, people are more important than things. If your kid drops something that's important to you and breaks it, and you freak out and scream at them, like, they could be getting the message that that plate was more important than me. Or, you know, it's like, always remember when your little ones do something that's totally wretched and horrible, really, it's not a big deal. They're more important than the plate. They're more important than the chair that they just broke. So people are more important than things. Please remember that. Huge. That will change a lot of things. It'll change your perspective. It will change their behavior. It will change a lot of things. So this is turning into like parenting tips. Gall, what else? Know your limits. Know when you're getting tired. I have a hard time. Yeah, I burn out sometimes because I'll do everything. Like, I'll try to do it all. Everyone wants to do it all. You want to be able to have everything just perfect all the time. So a lot of the times we try to do it all and we burn out. But know your trigger signs. Know what your body goes through when you're starting to feel burnt out. Like, I'm a lot better at it now. When I start to feel overwhelmed with something, I'll be like, you know what? I'm like totally stressed out. I don't have, like, this is going to take more of a mental toll on me in the long run. With all of this, I just need to call and cancel sometimes. And I'm not like a big person to do that because I really like to be reliable for my clients, and it's totally flaky. I hate canceling because it's like saying no. But it's happened before. I've had to call up my clients. It's happened actually several times over the last 10 years. You know, not really often, but every once in a while you'd have to just look at your schedule and, you know, say, you know what? I'm so overwhelmed. If I didn't have these 2 appointments in this time slot, just like getting rid of those 2, I think I could do it. So I'll look at my schedule and just think, you know, that needs to go. I'm prioritizing right now. And I'll call them up and say, I'm really sorry. I'm not able to do these appointments. And I sometimes, if I'm really overwhelmed, I won't even reschedule them right then. I'll say, can you just call me back in a couple weeks and we'll try to schedule it then. Right now, things are just really crazy and I don't know when I'll be able to do it again. And just be honest with them. I mean, your clients are usually they're pretty receptive of when you're going through something that's hard, and maybe it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but if you really are overwhelmed to where you can't think straight and you feel like you're missing out on too much of your kids or something, it's okay to say, you know, and I've done it before and been like, you know, everyone's sick, my kids are sick, I just think I'm gonna call my today's appointments and just say we need to reschedule, or I just can't do it, find someone else this time, I'm sorry. But I've had to do that in the past and it's hard, but yeah, it's how you juggle. I mean, juggling, you're gonna drop some things sometimes, and sometimes it's gonna be hair, sometimes it's gonna be family, sometimes it's gonna be your messy house, sometimes it's gonna be dinner, sometimes you're gonna have to just like eat cereal for dinner, because I've done that before too. But you just do your best, the best you can. You hit your knees and pray, and God helps you feel better, and you do better the next day. So a lot of the time, whatever I'm really lacking on that stressed me out, like I'll work on that area of my life, and so something else gets dropped, and then I'll just have to kind of just switch back and forth. So we all go through it, and it's difficult, and hopefully this kind of made sense to you guys. If it didn't, I'm really envious of you, because if you can't relate to me, then that's awesome. I'm glad you have all your ducks in a row and that you guys are so on top of things, and maybe you could give me some tips in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up and go and subscribe to my April's Life channel. Also, if you're wondering how my hair all of a sudden got so long and beautiful, it's the Tressmerized hair extensions that I'm wearing today. And you can go and use the coupon code HAIR101 and receive $20 off your order. So go and do that. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about this. If you are having a hard time juggling everything, my heart goes out to you. Please just know that we've been there before. I've been there before. You're not alone, and you will make it through it. You can do it. Don't give up. You'll be fine. And that's what I want to tell you guys. So hopefully this was helpful, you guys. I really say that all the time. I really hope that these videos are helping you guys. It actually is like overwhelmingly heartwarming for me to read the comments, you guys. Like, so many people will comment and say, your videos help me so much, and that just like, it makes all of this worth it. So thank you. I love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.